This wasn't supposed to happen on live TV. No buildup, no warning, just a letter. And suddenly, one of the most fiery personalities in baseball history is fighting back tears. Because the Chicago White Sox just made a decision that locks Ozzie Guillen into franchise immortality forever. Here's what went down. During the White Sox home opener broadcast, Ozzie Guillen is on air, relaxed, joking, doing his usual thing. Scott Podsednik joins him. Opens an envelope. At first it feels like a bit, maybe a promo, maybe a giveaway. Then the announcement drops. The White Sox are officially retiring Ozzie Guillen's number 13 live, on air, in front of the fans. And just like that, Guillen, never short on words, goes quiet and emotional. To understand why this hits so hard, you've got to rewind. Ozzie Guillen isn't just another former manager. He's the guy who broke an 88-year championship drought in Chicago. Think about that. Nearly a century of frustration gone in 2005. And he didn't do it quietly. He did it with attitude, with edge, with a clubhouse culture the players either loved or couldn't handle. Before that, he was already part of the franchise fabric as a player over a decade in Chicago. Multiple All-Star appearances, a Gold Glove, Rookie of the Year. This isn't just a number retirement. This is the White Sox acknowledging one of the most influential figures in their entire history. And let's be real, this franchise hasn't exactly been overflowing with championships. That 2005 title, it still defines the modern era. Inside that locker room, this matters too, because honoring Guillen sends a message. This organization still values toughness, personality, and winning above all. Let's break this down beyond the emotion, because this move is bigger than nostalgia. Retiring a number is permanent. It's not a Hall of Fame nod, it's a statement of identity. And choosing Ozzie Guillen is interesting because he's not a safe figure. He's controversial. He's outspoken. He's clashed with media, ownership, even his own players at times. So why now? Because the White Sox might be trying to reconnect with something they've lost in edge. Look at the current state of the franchise. Inconsistent, frustrating, still searching for a clear direction. By elevating Guillen, they're reminding everyone what winning looked like in Chicago, and more importantly, how it felt. Strategically, this is about culture as much as history. Guillen's teams played aggressive baseball. They were fearless. They weren't trying to be perfect, they were trying to beat you. That's something modern teams sometimes struggle with, especially in an era driven by analytics and caution. But here's the risk. When you glorify a figure like Guillen, you're also inviting comparison. Fans will start asking, why doesn't this team have that same fire? Where's that accountability? And that can put pressure on current leadership fast. There's also the question of timing. Why now and not earlier? Some will argue it took too long. Others will say the organization waited until it needed a positive storyline. Either way, the message is clear. The White Sox are leaning into their past because their present isn't strong enough. And that's where this gets complicated. Fans, they're going to be split but emotional either way. You got the loyalists who watched 2005 and will say this is overdue. To them, Guillen is a legend, full stop. Then you've got the critics. They'll point out the ups and downs, the controversies, the fact that his managerial career after Chicago didn't exactly soar. Media coverage is going to follow that same divide. Some will frame this as a long overdue honor for a championship leader. Others will question whether the White Sox are leaning too heavily on past glory instead of fixing the present. And honestly, both sides have a point. This moment sparks something. It reconnects the fan base. It reminds the organization what winning culture looks like. Maybe it even influences how leadership approaches the next phase. More aggression, more accountability, more identity. And suddenly, this isn't just a ceremony. It's a turning point. It becomes a distraction, a feel-good moment that highlights everything the current team isn't. Fans celebrate Guillen, but grow even more frustrated with what they're watching now. Instead of building momentum, it deepens the gap between past success and present reality. So here's the real question. Is retiring Ozzie Guillen's number a celebration of greatness or a reminder of what the White Sox have lost? Did the organization get this exactly right, or are they leaning too hard on history? Drop your take in the comments. I want to hear where you stand on this. And if you're into real no-hype sports breakdowns like this, hit subscribe, because we're just getting started.